Thank you very much for coming today. I'm Attorney Gloria Allred, and we are here today to announce that we have filed a lawsuit on behalf of 9 fired healthcare workers against Prime Healthcare and St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood, California. Our lawsuit alleges that all 9 of these dedicated healthcare workers were retaliated against and wrongfully terminated in violation of their rights under California law. The plaintiffs in this case are Mayra Castaneda, Lorenzo Bernal, Sonia Rodriguez, Dolores Aguilar, Kenny Reyna, Scott Byington, Maricela Garay Barajas, James Blankenship, and Arlene Nielsen. In their lawsuit, which was accepted for filing in Los Angeles County Superior Court yesterday, the lawsuit contains very serious and disturbing allegations against the defendants, Prime Healthcare and defendant St. Francis Medical Center. In our legal complaint, plaintiffs allege that after the defendant, Prime Healthcare, acquired St. Francis Medical Center, the plaintiffs have opposed and protested and complained to management and through their unions about what they believe to be unlawful employment practices resulting in adverse patient health and safety care issues. Because our clients were so dedicated to protecting their patients who were in their care at St. Francis Medical Center, and because plaintiffs understood how employment practices at the hospital were having a negative impact on patients, they reported their concerns to management. Plaintiffs allege in their lawsuit that defendant Prime took actions detrimental to the health and safety of its patients and healthcare workers. For example, plaintiffs are informed to believe, in the name of profits, that defendants laid off many healthcare workers and thereafter failed to have a sufficient number of healthcare workers in order to maintain safe and healthy patient care. Defendants accepted patients even though the nurse-to-patient ratio was violative of Title 22 of the California Code of Regulations, thereby providing unsafe patient care. Title 22, Section 70217 mandates minimum licensed nurse-to-patient ratios for different care units. Defendants admitted patients even though there were insufficient numbers of nursing staff and refused to block patient rooms by continuing to admit patients even when there weren't sufficient nurses to ensure the required nurse-to-patient ratio. There were numerous occasions, the lawsuit alleges, when, for example, the required ratio was 4.1, 4 to 1, and there would be 6 patients, no certified nursing assistants, CNAs, no charge nurse, no breaker or any other type of resource nurse. Again, the lawsuits allege that defendants' refusal to hire more healthcare workers caused plaintiffs to do the work of 1.5 to 2 persons, and the quality of care, the lawsuit alleges, did not matter to defendants. Again, all of these are allegations by the plaintiffs in the lawsuit that defendants also did not hire enough non-nursing staff necessary to maintain safe and healthy patient care. The lawsuit alleges there have been occasions when stat labs have been ordered, but due to insufficient or no phlebotomists or lab techs, it took over 4 hours to obtain lab reports, and the standard of patient care and safety was adversely impacted. The lawsuit also alleges as a result of fewer healthcare workers, some plaintiffs were required to work double shifts. Again, in the lawsuit, they allege as a result of fewer healthcare workers, some plaintiffs were required to work 16 to 20 hours and work 12 days straight without a day off in between. We also allege in the lawsuit there was a staffing shortage of certified nurse assistants, licensed vocational nurses, registered nurses, monitor technicians, radiology techs, ultrasound techs, and lab techs. Plaintiffs allege in their lawsuit that their reports to management were to no avail. As a result, the plaintiffs obtained letters of support from many elected officials and other supporters of their unions. Our lawsuit alleges that on November 30th, 2023, on their day off, plaintiffs walked to the corporate office of Prime Healthcare to deliver the letters of support from 9 elected officials, urging the defendants to prioritize patient care and worker safety because plaintiffs believe that the employment practices of St. Francis were having an adverse impact on patients and workers. They were able to enter the corporate offices and deliver their folder of letters containing their concerns and documents that they allege were evidence about employment practices that violate laws designed to protect the health and safety of patients and workers. On December 15th, 2023, defendants suspended all 9 of our brave clients. And on December 20th, 2023, all of our plaintiffs were terminated. Plaintiffs deny defendants' alleged reasons for the termination and allege in their lawsuit that their reasons for terminating them were a pretext. All of our plaintiffs were the leaders of the negotiating team for these and other issues for their unions. Was the real reason that these leaders were terminated because they refused to stop raising these issues with Prime Healthcare? We believe that they must not fight this fight alone. And we will support them in this battle to protect patients at St. Francis and all of the many employees who are dedicated to safe health care for them. We all believe in patients over profits and will not be deterred or be intimidated by a big, powerful corporation who has tried to make an example of the courageous union leaders who put patient health and safety first. Si se puede. Si se puede. Si se puede. We look forward to seeing the defendants in court. And now I am very honored to introduce one of those courageous leaders, Mayra, and she will speak first.
My name is Mayra Castañeda. I believe I was fired because my coworkers and I spoke up for our patients and the continuous staffing crisis. On multiple occasions, my coworkers and I raised these concerns to management. Unfortunately, our protests fell on deaf ears. We had no other choice but to get support from our public officials. I and my coworkers obtained letters of support from public officials, and on November 30th, 2023, delivered the letters of support along with documentation demonstrating that Prime Health and St. Francis actions were detrimentally affecting our patient care. As healthcare workers, we have an obligation to speak up for proper patient care. My 8 coworkers and I attempted to meet with Prime executives, and all 9 of us were terminated. It's clear example that Prime Healthcare is trying to silence and deter the healthcare workers from protesting like we all did. As frontline healthcare worker for 25 years, I could no longer look the other way or be afraid to speak up for our patients and coworkers. We are all tired of being tired. Our patients deserve better. My coworkers deserve better working conditions. This retaliation tactic will not stop us, frontline healthcare workers, from speaking the truth. Thank you.
My name is Scott Byington. I have worked at St. Francis Medical Center as a critical care registered nurse for the last 28 years. The last 3 of those years were with Prime Healthcare. I'm a proud union member of the United Nurse Association of California, Union of Healthcare Professionals, UNAC UHCP. I was also a bargaining team member. On November 30th, 2023, I and 8 other coworkers who are also UNAC UHCP and SEIU members delivered documents to Prime requesting a meeting to address ongoing patient health safety concerns arising from staffing issues at St. Francis Medical Center, together with letters of support from elected officials. We were allowed to enter Prime's office and then asked to wait outside and that someone would pick up what we had to come to deliver. We left the lobby as requested. Representatives of corporate arrived and were given the documents we had brought. We then left. There was no confrontation whatsoever. On December 15th, 2023, a human resources director advised me that I was being suspended because of my visit to Prime on November 30th, 2023. The following Tuesday, HR attempted to terminate me while I was flying home for Christmas to be with my 80-year-old parents. I was terminated on Wednesday, December 20th, 2023, by phone. I believe I was terminated for being a strong patient advocate and advocating for patients' care and the health and safety of patients. As healthcare providers, we are the first and many times the last line of defense for our patients. I never thought I would be terminated for encouraging Prime to follow California-mandated nurse-to-patient staffing ratios. St. Francis Medical Center is a STEMI center, a stroke center, and a trauma center. Prime bought the hospital, but did not buy the heart. The heart of St. Francis is the people who work there, who kept coming to work during the pandemic, who slept in their cars oftentimes and then went back to work just like me. The retaliation by Prime for fighting for our patients' safety and community is unwarranted and unjust. Thank you.
The unions are also asserting their claims in the way that they should be. Those are administrative claims. This is claims asserted in a lawsuit. So both are possible, and we are doing everything possible consistent with the law to assert, protect, and vindicate their rights. So there's no conflict with the union. We have the same goals. And we are very, very outraged about the firing of the leaders. 28 years for Scott as a dedicated nurse. How many years for you?
25.
How many?
25.
25 years for Myra. We are going to fight back. We're not giving up. I can assure you of that. Wonderful partner, Dolores Leal. Dolores will be able to assist.
I can speak Spanish.
Right. She can also speak to you in Spanish. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Well, for you, I wanted to ask you, because maybe it wasn't clear for me, in what year did they take over?
Oh, they have been for quite a while.
2020.
2020.
So it coincides kind of with the pandemic too, no?
Right.
Because they may use that also as,
Well,
maybe just a comment about that.
Yes.
That the situation was, so erratic.
Well,
Time has gone by.
Okay, well, that's a good point. All I can say is, do these issues continue?
Yes.
They're not limited to
Nothing's
the pandemic. They continue well into 2023. They're not there now because I understand they continue to be reminded that they have been terminated, which is very cruel and really has an impact not just on them, not just on patient care, which is their priority, but on their family members who depended on them. And it's economically devastating to many of the families. And I think that Prime Healthcare should be proud of Scott and Mayra and all of our clients who stand behind us. That they care, that patient care is their priority.
And just one more clarification for me. Were they protesting outside too in the strikes, or this is a totally separate issue? You know what I mean?
You mean there were other employees who were outside. But for those who went inside after having been admitted by someone who appeared to be an employee who allowed them inside, those 9 who went inside were the ones who were terminated.
Got it.
In other words, those who, from their point of view, spoke truth to power, they're the ones who were terminated. 28 years and terminated in a phone call? That cannot be allowed to stand. Any other questions?
Can I get Myra and you on the side?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very. Oh, do we have? Excuse me. We don't have anyone in the chat to ask questions? Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll do separate interviews.
Can you state your full name?
Mi nombre es Dolores Leal, yo soy una abogada aquí en el bufete.
Okay.
Here's my law partner.
Dolores, ¿qué es lo que está pasando con estos 9 trabajadores? ¿Por qué la demanda? ¿Y cuál es la injusticia más grande que ven ustedes?
Estamos representando 9 personas, todas quien trabajaron por St. Francis Medical Center y Prime Healthcare. Trabajaron lo máximo 28 años, Scott, Mayra 25 años. Lo que pasó es que en agosto del 2020, el año 2020, Prime Healthcare compró St. Francis Medical Center. Después de comprar el hospital, hubieron muchos cambios, incluyendo despidos de personas, enfermeras, lab techs, diferentes healthcare workers, personas que trabajan en el hospital. Todo eso afectó los pacientes. No tenían bastantes enfermeras, bastantes trabajadores para ayudar a los pacientes.
Y ahora están pidiendo una indemnización.
Entonces,
o regresar al trabajo, o están demandando por dinero.
En esta demanda, estamos alegando que fueron despedidos ilegalmente bajo varios códigos laborales. Entonces, la unión está procediendo con un diferente proceso administrativo. Aquí estamos alegando que ellos fueron dañados porque estuvieron trabajando ahí muchos años.
Thank you, Dolores.
Ya.
Gracias.
Okay.
Yo la quiero sola, Juan.
Bueno, pero ¿por qué
primero.
no nos habla ahí y luego tú la agarras?
Ok.
Porque yo estoy mandando
Do
caliente.
you want to change these? Is that...
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Or should I just move them over?
Yes, please. Y me miras.
Okay.
So she's the only Spanish speaker, correct? In the group?
I think so. I don't know.
Ok. Cuando tú quieras, habla.
Pues mi nombre es Mayra Castañeda. Yo soy una de los 9 que nos despidieron el noviembre 30 a 2023, junto con todos ellos, porque fuimos a las oficinas de Prime Corporate a entregar cartas de apoyo de diferentes legisladores y por haber hecho eso, por haber hablado acerca de lo que pasa con los pacientes en el hospital, por abogar por más trabajadores de la salud, el crisis que está pasando con los trabajadores de la salud. No hay suficiente para dar el cuidado apropiado para nuestros pacientes y por eso mismo nos despidieron.
¿Qué es lo que más te duele de esto después de haber entregado décadas en ese trabajo? ¿Qué es lo que más te afecta en tu corazón? ¿Te parece como una bofetada del lugar a donde entregaste sangre en la pandemia? Descríbeme un poquito lo que estás sintiendo.
Definitivamente siento como que un balde de agua. De la noche a la mañana nos hemos quedado sin trabajo. Yo, después de estar sirviendo 25 años a St. Francis Medical Center, a la comunidad, las comunidades alrededor, por ver traído a anunciar de la crisis que estábamos pasando, ahora estar sin trabajo, es algo que nunca me imaginé. Yo pensé algún día retirarme de St. Francis Medical Center. Esa no es ahora la situación.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hay otra que también habla español.
And can I
Lorenza.
get her back?
Nombre, por favor.
Dolores Aguilar.
¿Y tú cuál es tu cargo?
Secretaria,
Ok, ¿cuál es tu mensaje?
pues mi mensaje para la gente es que sepa que todos los que estamos aquí, incluyéndome a mí, vamos a seguir luchando por los derechos de nuestros pacientes. No nos vamos a quedar callados y esta lucha apenas empieza.